Charlotte.
Hello, Hedy. Fancy seeing you here.
I know, my first podcast at Britsent. Wow.
It's very exciting. I am very excited to have you.
Thank you. I'm very excited to be here. But how are you doing, Charlotte?
I'm very well, thank you. I mean, it's a bit chilly at the moment, and I've been working in the house all day, which is not a perk of working from home, unfortunately, but I think after this I'm going to curl up by the fire.
Oh, do you have an electric blanket?
Not yet.
Best investment I've ever made, honestly. Okay. I feel like a cat just like wrapped up in it, so highly, highly recommend an electric blanket.
Okay, all right, it's going on the list then. I can't say no to you.
Christmas list, yes.
Absolutely. So, today we are here for the first episode of the LifeCast.
Woo!
So, this new podcast project we are bringing you, what is it all about? Hedy, can you tell me what the LifeCast is about?
Well, life, and more specifically, life in your 20s. What is it all about? What are we doing?
Exactly. So we're going to touch on lots of topics that might be relevant to you, things you think about and experience in your 20s. But today, we're going to ease in with a gentle philosophical discussion about what it means to be in your 20s. What is this decade all about? How does that sound, Hedy?
Good. I love easing in with a really big philosophical question. But, because age, it can be a very sensitive topic. So, some people aren't very comfortable talking about it. And I was just wondering for you, Charlotte, are you okay with, talking about your age? If someone asks you how old you are you kind of, shocked and insulted? Or are you very open and...
So I used to think that people who were annoyed at people who asked them about their age, I used to think that those people were a bit overly sensitive. But these days, I am starting to appreciate how they feel because I am approaching an important milestone of my own, namely the end of my 20s. And that is making me kind of a bit more reticent to reveal my exact age, which is funny. So obviously I'm making it very clear that I am 29. I am 29. I am in my late 20s. What about you, Hedy? Do you find it uncomfortable talking about your age?
Well, I feel like at the moment, no. But, in a few years that may change. But no, for me, yeah, I'm so fine talking about my age. I'm 24. And I guess next year it's also somewhat of a milestone because I'm going to turn 25 next year, so quarter of a century, ready for my quarter life crisis. So
quarter life crisis, topic of a future podcast.
Yeah. But I feel like the only time I've ever been kind of hesitant about my age is recently I started my MA and going into uni and especially joining my cheer team. There are so many people born in 2003, 2004, and they're 18, and suddenly I'm like, wait, no, you can't be 18 because I was 18 yesterday and I was born in 98. How did that happen? Where did the time go? So I think it's more just realizing, oh my God, time waits for no one.
Yeah, time passes.
Yeah.
That's all it does.
But I was going to ask, have you heard some people now, they have their pandemic age? Because, the pandemic kind of basically took 2 years of our youth. So...
Oh, God. No, I haven't.
Yeah.
That's new to me.
So I don't know if this is a real thing or not, but yeah, so in my head, I'm no, I'm still 22 because the 2 years of the pandemic don't count.
I like that.
But, so yeah. Technically, you're 27.
I'll go back to 27. 27's nice.
Yeah.
You still have 3 years of glorious 20s ahead of you. And actually, I can tell you a story. I have a piece of clothing that I realised I really need to retire because, okay, listeners, you may not know this. It might be the same in Korea, but in the UK, when you leave high school, you get a hoodie, a leavers hoodie, and it has the date that you graduated high school, and it also has like maybe all the names of your classmates, and your nickname. And I have still been wearing mine. It's absolutely like all of the colouring has come off the number of the year, but you can actually still see it because of the glue. And I realized,
just like the ghost of it.
The ghost of it. And I realised I need to stop wearing it because I'm just advertising my age to everyone. And I graduated high school more than 10 years ago. So it's like I'm just hanging on, you know?
Yeah, like, you know, the people that, I feel like this is such like an American movie trope, but you know, like the people that peaked in high school and can't get over it. But I can't believe you've worn it so much. I have never worn my hoodie. Like until recently, I still had it in the plastic. It wasn't until I was like sorting out my wardrobe. I just never wore it. I thought, oh God. I think just seeing the date as well, maybe that for me made me realize, oh my God, wow, that was a good few years ago now.
For you, it's like a collector's item if you're still keeping it in plastic.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All the names of my classmates. But yeah.
Well, then, deep question. What do you think your 20s is about? Or not your 20s, but being in your 20s generally?
Oh, I feel like that's a very, very deep question. But to me, maybe just that because of like the age I'm at, it's like realizing that I'm like now supposed to be like a fully functioning adult. And suddenly I realize that like I have to make real life decisions and my actions have real life consequences. And, you know, yeah, just, wow, life comes at you fast. So
yeah,
that's my 20s to me. But what about for you, Charlotte? What do you think about being in your 20s? What is it all about?
I mean, I get what you're saying. It's like, it's this kind of shock of you're suddenly responsible for yourself and your decisions, and that's uncomfortable. And then yeah, for me it is, I mean, this is a really obnoxious thing to say in English, but it's about finding yourself, like learning who you are, learning what you want, because I do think that people leave school and they have no idea who they are or what they want, and by the end of your 20s you kind of have much more of an idea and a direction, and you might be in a completely different place from where you started. So that's how I feel. Like you're in your mid-20s, so you're still kind of stuck in it, but I'm looking back,
trapped.
Yeah, I'm looking back, and I think it's really interesting because I don't identify at all with who I was when I was 21. Like it's just funny. I feel like a completely different person.
Yeah. So I feel like I don't know if this is quite what you're trying to say, but I feel like I am also embarrassed by myself at 21. So, and I feel like, you know, if you're not embarrassed by, you know, how you were when you're younger, maybe you just haven't, you know,
you're
grown enough.
Yeah, you're either not very self-aware, or you were a far too boring 21-year-old.
Yeah,
and those are the only options, really.
The only options, yeah. So basically, yeah, if you're not embarrassed of your past, you're doing something wrong. So everyone should be embarrassed. But
well, let's put it in a more positive light and say that we're all trying to be better.
Yes, right? Bettering ourselves.
We are all
finding ourselves.
Exactly.
But yeah, so, and some milestones I think we could talk about in this podcast, we will touch upon in this podcast. Stay tuned to find out. Yes.
Okay.
But yes, so Charlotte, it was lovely talking to you today. Thank you for taking me under your wing as a seasoned podcaster. And yeah, I look forward to our next episode.
And a seasoned being in her 20s
a season 20-something. A season 20-something.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're very welcome, Hedi. This was super fun. I can't wait to get back to the podcast in the next one.
Yeah.
Take care.
Amazing. So thank you. Bye, Charlotte. Bye.